Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I've been meaning to post for the last month. We are doing my summer shop my stash. So I have picked out my summer selections. I did this a month ago and I'm gonna walk you through them today. I've got all my favorite summer eyeshadow palettes and then all the summer makeup that I rely on, stuff that I'm excited to use or just things that needed to be rotated in. So we're gonna go through it all today. There's a lot of stuff. I always overpick in these videos, but before we get into that, if you are a new visitor here, I wanna wish you a special welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure that your notifications are turned on. And with that said, I'm sure this video is going to be a bit longer, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so let's start off with the eyeshadow palettes. I actually just pulled them here on my desk. Normally they sit on top of my little drawer unit. I'll maybe insert a little picture of it, even though it's a mess right now for you guys. Just so you can kind of see what my setup is like if you haven't watched these videos before. But we're going to just walk through the ones that I picked out for summer. These are the larger palettes. I also have some small quads and trios that I picked out that are in my drawer unit that we'll get to in a minute. But starting with the larger stuff, I selected 12 palettes. I had room for 14. I selected 12, and I'm sure some of these will get used more than others over the summertime. But here's what I selected. So let's start with my Natasha Denona palettes. I feel like I'm gravitating more and more to my Natasha Denona palettes lately, as I feel like my makeup routine is kind of simplifying as I get older. So I have 4 Natasha Denona palettes. First off, the Sunrise palette. This is an oldie but a goodie. I think you can still find this palette. Sorry, mine's a little squeaky. On Beautylish, I believe. I love this palette in the summertime. It looks very bold, but these yellows can be so fun to play with. And other than the yellows, this is really just kind of like a berry tone, like a warm berry tone palette, and it is absolutely stunning. Honestly, like these berries over here are some of my favorite berries to throw in my crease. They perform great. The shimmers are great. This is one of the first palettes of hers that I think I bought, and one of the reasons that I fell in love with Natasha Denona. I also pulled in the My Dream palette. Now, Alter Ego does have a dupe for this palette, which I highly recommend. It's just as good, or just about as good for the cost savings, but I've got this one with me right here. This one is so fun, so versatile. This is like a versatile palette for people that don't want too much color. You get some cool tones in here, some peaches, some berries, a little bit of gold, and then just some neutrals as well. Such a great palette to play with. I love the looks that come out of this. It's slowly grown on me over time, and it's definitely one of my favorites from her. It's so good. Then we've got the Golden palette. So this one I've actually been trying out simultaneously with the Amber Glow palette, which Alter Ego just released. It's so good. I've been using these back and forth, sometimes even side by side. I think this is a very good dupe for the Golden palette, and the Golden palette is so good. If you like your warm golden and bronze tones, this palette is beautiful. But another palette that I pulled out that if I had to pick between the Golden palette and this palette, the I Need a Warm, I'm officially gonna say I like the I Need a Warm palette even more than the Golden palette. I just love the warm, rich tones in this palette. Now they are very warm. If you are someone that anything that pulls a little bit too warm, or even, I don't know that I'd say this pulls orange, but I've said that with palettes before, and some people seem to think what I don't think is orange on them. So maybe I'm just not as sensitive to warm tones as some people are. I actually like them a lot on myself. I wouldn't call this orange tone. I definitely say it's more just like neutral warm browns, but it is warmer than the Golden palette, especially the matte shades that you're working with in here. But I love it so much. This dark brown right here, by the way, this is the palette that is all over my eyes today. This color right here in the corner, this dark brown, is one of her creamy matte formulas or creamed powder formulas. And it's one of my favorites that she's ever done. It is so rich, blends like a dream, goes on like a dream. If you have issues with patchiness when you're working with darker tones, this is such a good formula for that because it never goes on patchy. It always blends out so smoothly, but it never creases on me, which is very rare. I get a lot of creasing if anything is too creamy on my eyelids, and this one does not do that. I pulled some Sydney Grace in, of course. I picked out my Unveiled palette. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes, you guys. Highly recommend this one. Mine is a mess because I do use this palette a lot. I used it on my daughter-in-law for her wedding day. It is just stunning. It has like the 3 perfect options: a cooler kind of smoky look, a bronze kind of neutral look, and a berry toned kind of peachy, warmer sort of berry tone look. It's just like 3 perfect looks, and I feel like all of those looks are the type of looks that not just brides would create, but they're universally flattering. They look good on anyone. You can go as dark and as smoky and bold, or as soft and kind of dusty and natural. Got my Love's Journey palette right here. I always anticipate that just the word love on here and the flowers, that there's going to be pinks in here. There are no pinks at all. Nothing in here pulls pink at all. In fact, I'd say this is a cooler toned eyeshadow palette. You do get a couple of warm tones, but honestly, this is the only tone in here that I would say pulls obviously warm on me. Other than that, everything else pulls very neutral or very, very cool, especially this row down here. But I love it. It's so good. Some of the best shimmers in this palette, and you guys know how much I love Sydney Grace's lid shimmers. They're metallic and foiled and stunning. I also pulled in this one. This is the Summer Days palette. This one has been discontinued, unfortunately, because I think this is one of her better ones that she's released over the years. So pretty. It's like a pinky bronze palette. It's absolutely lovely and stunning. If you happen to own this one and have forgotten about it, pull it back out and give it some love in the summertime, because everything about this just screams summer to me. Got a little bit of color pop. I pulled in my Nude Mood palette. I did mention that this is a very good dupe for the Natasha Denona mini nude palette, which I love that little palette. In fact, I have it in my drawer. We'll get to it in a minute. It is so pretty. This is a good dupe for that one. Obviously, you get a few more shades in this palette right here, but if you like your warmer bronzy tones, I highly recommend this one. I also have my Goin' Coconuts palette, which I've had in my eyeshadow little divider since I first tried it out back, was that in like February or March? I repurchased this palette and was reminded of why it was such a big mistake for me to declutter this in the first place. But it's probably a good thing. I have the new updated packaging. It's so good. There is a good reason why everyone seems to love this palette, and it's been around forever. I feel like it's been a favorite of many people for a very long time. I pulled in my Nabla Cutie palette. This is the Metropolitan. This is such a fun one for summer. This bright coral shade is so fun to throw in your crease with some of these like neutral shimmers, and this dark brown in the outer corner. This reddish bronze is so pretty on the outer half of the lid. I love this glittery shade right here. It reminds me of the Natasha Denona glitter toppers, or I think it's a sparkling foiled formula that I'm thinking of. It's very, very fine and sheer, but it has this beautiful micro glitter sparkle in it that's lovely. Okay, the last two are, I think, both discontinued, but I love them both. I'm gonna keep them around for a little bit longer. This is the Hangin' in Hawaii palette, which is from BH Cosmetics, which sadly does not exist anymore. And I'm so upset about that, because I think BH Cosmetics eyeshadows were the best affordable eyeshadow formula on the market for a very long time, but happen to own some of their palettes still. This one in particular is so fun for summertime. Very warm, but very soft. Nothing's too bold in here. Even like this bright pink, it looks kind of intimidating. It's very soft, it's not over the top, and lots of beautiful shimmers and lid shades and transition shades, lots of brown. It's a good one for summertime, and obviously the Hawaiian packaging makes it beachy and fun. I also pulled in the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. I don't know if this one's still around or not. If it is, I'll link it down below. This one is so much fun. If you like teals, these two greens are so fun to play with. I don't play with those kind of colors very often anymore, but as I was going through my collection, I pulled this one out. It made me want to try out something more colorful on my eyes. Other than that, you get some beautiful kind of red toned browns here, some beautiful lid shades, a peach, a champagne gold, and a kind of coppery bronze. This is a fantastic palette. I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows. I still get excited when I pull out my Juvia's Place palettes. And the last thing that I had with my eyeshadow is not actually an eyeshadow palette. This is a face palette, also by BH Cosmetics. This is the Spotlight and Highlight palette. This thing is the grimiest looking makeup product that I own. I should probably try and clean it. These are some of the best highlighters out there. Again, I'm so sad that BH Cosmetics doesn't make this or anything else for that matter anymore, because I love these highlighters. So good. If you happen to own this still, give it some love this summer, because they are bold, intense, they're beautiful, lots of different options. And I know some of these look very dark, but I can use all of these on me. And if not for a highlight, then they make great lid shimmers. All right, now I'm gonna move my camera and walk you guys over to my makeup drawer unit. Now this unit itself is not available anymore, but if I can find something similar on Amazon, I'll link it for you guys down below. All right, here we have my desk unit, which holds all of my makeup with the exception of the large eyeshadow palettes that I just went through, well, all of my selections, I should say. I'm gonna try and go through this really fast because there are a lot of picks in here today. So let's just start at the top. Let's start at the back. I have a couple of setting sprays. My ColourPop Pretty Fresh. This thing's pretty old. I think I've had it for about 2 years. I need to get a move on using this up. It still smells fine. This is the Pretty Smart setting spray, one of my current favorites. I'm really loving this. Over here, I've got what I use as a primer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Liquid Highlighter. I don't like to wear liquid highlighter on top of my foundation and concealer, but I love this underneath my foundation. And another thing that I've recently discovered that I love using this for is putting a drop of this into my body lotion when I'm like putting lotion on my summer legs. It just makes the lotion look nice and like glossy and glowy, which is really pretty. So just a little tip for summertime. You can do it with this or just really any liquid highlighter you could do the same trick with. Sticking with the same category, I've got my Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm really loving this lately. There's a specific way that I've been using it. I won't go into it today. Maybe I'll do a video like a get ready with me coming up soon. Really love this. I also love the e.l.f. one, but I like the lighter shade of this one better for what I've been using it for. Another primer in here is the Flower Beauty Priming Whip. I love this stuff. I think Flower Beauty is kind of on the outs. It looks like they're clearing things out of the Ulta website and their website's kind of down. So that makes me so sad. For a long time, they've been one of my very favorite and what I think is one of the most underrated drugstore makeup brands because I know they're kind of hard to get your hands on these days. Two more primers. These are kind of similar to each other. I'll just pull them both out at the same time. So the Wet n Wild Clingy Primer, I actually prefer the Wet n Wild to the Maybelline Grippy Serum. I don't know if you guys can see when I hold these sideways. See how much more liquidy the Maybelline one is. So if the stickiness of this one bothered you, I actually like the stickiness of the Wet n Wild. You might like the Maybelline a little bit better. It's a little bit more lightweight and serum-like. Okay, I'm actually gonna move those. Let's just go through the foundations that I have. So I've got my Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. Such a great foundation. So beautiful on the skin. If you have dry skin, if you're a little bit older, you like something very lightweight and liquidy, this has great coverage, but it looks gorgeous on my skin. It just makes it look like hydrated and plump. Has SPF in it. The only thing about this one, I've noticed if I wear it like 4 or 5 days in a row, I start to get little breakouts kind of along my hairline. I think it's this that was causing that issue, but that might possibly be because mine is like 2 years old, so I probably should replace it. I'm getting close to using it up. Maybe I'll think about ordering a new one soon. I also have another favorite summertime foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. This one's great on its own. I often mix this into other foundations to make them last a little bit longer. Super sweat proof and budge proof. One of my favorites for longevity. This right here, this is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is different now. Like the newer version of this, I think has changed. I got mine at a Marshall's, I think, recently. Honestly, I would not repurchase this. There's a part of me that wants to put this back in my drawer and get my Mise-On or my Misha BB cream back out because I kind of like those a little bit better. It's not bad. And again, I don't know that the new packaging, new formula of this is the same, but I'm kind of just like on the fence about it. This is probably my most used foundation more recently, the Maybelline 30 Hour. I feel like I've been talking this thing up like crazy for the last few months. You can see I'm already halfway done with this foundation. It takes a lot for me to go through a foundation halfway because I have so many and I like to rotate things. It's definitely one of my favorites right now. I use the shade 128, which is a great match for me. And then last in the foundation category, I have my Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. I have mine in number 7. Honestly, this isn't bad. I don't love it the way that some people love it. I just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of in a liquid foundation mode. The only thing I really like this for is maybe if I'm adding, if I need a little bit more coverage on like my cheeks or some of my hyperpigmentation marks, I'll add a little bit of this on top of my foundation, almost like a concealer would. I mean, same thing a concealer would do, but it's a little bit quicker, I guess I should say. If you're in a hurry, I can see how you might like something like this because you don't have to touch it. It's very mess-free. You can just swipe it on, blend it out with a sponge or a brush. It is a little bit quicker than a liquid. Okay, back here at the back where you can't really see, I've got a couple of odd-shaped lip products. I've got my e.l.f. Pout Clout Lip Plumping Pen. This one is in the shade, I think it's like peachy. I think that says pinky out, basically a nude pink. I have a Wet n Wild lip gloss. This one, oh boy. This one's called Attitude Check, just a nice kind of bright corally pink. And then I have Profusion Pretty in Pink lip pen. I love all of these. Honestly, I can't really see them back there. I need to find a new place for them so I won't forget about them. Let's go through some lip products. I've got my Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. Lots of lip balms in here. My Summer Fridays, which this has really been replaced by my cherry lip gloss from ColourPop. I always forget the name of that one. It's not the So Juicy one. It's the one in the tube like this, but I love that one. It's honestly almost a perfect dupe for this. Got a liquid lipstick here. This is from Flower Beauty. Again, I think this has been discontinued. This is Melon Pop. Really nice, bright, kind of corally magenta. Honestly, I don't do bold lips very much lately, so I might have to force myself to use this one. It is very pretty and fun for summer. I've got my Tower 28 here. This is the shade Coconut. I need to get a move on using this thing up because I think it's gonna go bad soon. I do like this shade. I like it more than when I first got it. This right here is my Kapari Lip Glossy in Clear. This is a fantastic lip gloss. If you like them very lightweight and thin and almost more oil-like than sticky, I think you'll really like this formula. My NYX lip gloss, this one is in the shade Peaches and Cream. Really fun, bright coral for summer. This is Bailey from Sydney Grace, the lip cream. This is one I love this. It's a very thick, pigmented, I don't want to say lip gloss. It's more of like a cream lipstick. It's very pigmented. I like this when I'm doing a nude lip. It's really nice and light. Over here, I've got my Wet n Wild lip oil. This one is in the shade Sweet Cherries. Honestly, this doesn't give a lot of color. It's comfortable. It's basically just like a basic lip oil. I feel like they're all just about the same. Over here, I've got an old CoverGirl lipstick. Honestly, I should probably declutter this. I think I've had it for like 4 years. It's very pretty. This is in Caramel Kiss. I've bought a couple of these over the years, but I just haven't been in much of a lipstick phase for the last couple years or so I don't use lipstick as much as I used to. I really should check out some of the new CoverGirl lip products. CoverGirl is just one of those brands that I often overlook. Right here I have Flower Beauty again. This is Peachy Nude, and then I have 2 shades here from MAC. This one is Cream Cup, which honestly, I put this on a couple of weeks ago and I thought it looked hideous on me. I used to love this color. It's very like frosty looking. I don't know, as I get older, I feel like my preferences for what I like to do with my lips has changed a lot. This is Blankety for MAC, great for a nude lip with a darker lip liner underneath. Okay, we're gonna pull my mascaras out first and go through these. First off, I've got my Physicians Formula Diamond Mineral Mascara. It's a very gloopy mascara, but I like it for how dark it is on my eyelashes. And actually, I'm thinking of, there's one that I think is very similar to this one. It's actually this one right here, which I also really like. This is Profusion Faux Lashes. This one's even cheaper than the Physicians Formula. This one's only like $4. It's difficult to use. I actually think both of these are a little bit gloopy. They require a little bit of work to kind of comb them out. As you apply, you have to be very careful or things get very clumpy and messy quickly, but they're very thick and volumizing and make your lashes look very dark. There's the brush on this one. This one's not as curved, but they both have that kind of plasticky, semi-pokey brush. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as like the e.l.f. I think it's the Lash Out Loud. That brush is like dangerous. Right here, I've got my Flower Beauty Dream Warrior mascara. I love this mascara. It's so good. Not quite as water resistant as like the 2 I just mentioned, my e.l.f. that we'll get to, the Panorama and my Sky High. But I love it. I love what it does for my lashes. Again, Flower Beauty. I'm so sad. I've got both my Sky Highs right here. This one is not water resistant. This is actually a primer, but it's dark. It's like a soft black. It's a very natural looking mascara. When I want just like a quick coat of something that I want to come off really easily later in the day, I'll sometimes throw this on my eyelashes. I've got my regular Maybelline Sky High here. This is still one of my favorites. It's been a favorite of mine for years. If you have watery eyes, you want something that's quick to apply, relatively easy to get off at the end of the day, but still holds up to watery eyes. This is a really good one. Got a mini of the Bad Gal Bang here. This is just about gone. I want to finish this off. I have my Panorama mascara here from L'Oreal. Another favorite of mine. I love this one. Very thick and volumizing. A little bit harder to remove at the end of the day, but I do love what this does for my lashes. But probably my #1 favorite currently is the Lash Extender from e.l.f. I love this. This is my 2nd tube of this one, and the one that I reach for more than anything else recently. Next drawer is concealers. Let's pull this out and take a look at these. First off, I have my Cali Ray. Whoops, it looks like this is a big mess. I don't know if you can see my little drawer right here. Had a little bit of a spill. I didn't quite close this all the way. This is the Cali Ray Hideaway in Pale Sun. I love this for my under eye circles when I'm having issues with dark under eyes. Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is newer to me. I use the shade 2W. This is another current favorite of mine. I really like it. It's a little bit drier. It's a little bit drier of a formula, but I do like how budge proof it is. I have my 2 Dior Forever Skins, 1W and 2W, another super high coverage, very thick concealer, but if you really need to cover some stuff, this stuff is so good. This is my Relove Super Concealer in C8.5. This is a great one from the drugstore. Again, I think this is a brand that they might be discontinuing or clearing out because it seems like everything is on clearance at my Walmart right now from this brand. Too bad. I feel like they didn't last very long, but they had some really good cheap makeup products. And then this is the Pretty Smart concealer. This one is in the shade light medium warm. Great one from the drugstore. Let's head down here. I have some powder, some brow products. First off, I've got my Physicians Formula Diamond Blur. Mine's such a mess. This is a lot like the No Color powder, the RCMA No Color powder, if you guys are familiar with that old powder. I still like that one. I just don't use it as much these days. Got my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. I actually need to buy a new one of these. I'm thinking about doing that during the Ulta sale that's going on right now. I don't know that it's even on sale, but I do have a couple things I want to pick up during that sale, and I might throw one of these in because I do like this product, but mine's officially, if you can see how dried out it is, you can see it needs to be replaced. My e.l.f. Halo Glow powder. This powder's okay. I don't know. You guys know I don't get excited about powders ever, really. Got my Succo in here. This thing is always in here. Probably one of my most used but super cheap brow products. It's just a basic brow soap you can get on Amazon. Talked about it for over a year now. I have two LA Colors brow products, the Browy Wowie and then the Browy Wowie Skinny Pencil. This one is in the shade medium brown. I love both of these. They're great. Got my NYX Lift and Snatch in ash brown. I love this as well. This with just some brow soap on top. Quick, really nice looking brow that's gonna stay all day. Got my Alter Ego eyeshadow primer here. I don't use this all the time. I don't have as much issues with eyeshadows creasing or not lasting on me as I did when I was a little bit younger, but occasionally I'll throw it on there just because why not? You know, I have it. The Physicians Formula Butter Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is super heavy duty, very stiff. If you don't like the feeling of like a stiff eyebrow, you're probably not gonna like this, but if you have stubborn eyebrows, as long as you can work with this as it dries, that your brows will not go anywhere for days. Got my NYX The Glue in medium brown, and then my Benefit Gimme Brow. I think this one is in the shade 3. Honestly, all the writing has worn off of this one. This is not my favorite brow product, but I have it and I feel like I want to use it because I bought it a couple years ago and I just haven't seemed to love it as much as some people do. My e.l.f. Shape and Stay Brow Pencil. Sadly, I don't think they make this anymore. Last time I checked, it was out of stock, and it seems like they're kind of getting rid of this thing. If you can find it at Walmart or Target, I recommend picking it up. It's been an old reliable for me. I would say like second in line to my Wet n Wild. I've been using this thing for years. I really like it. And then I have my Relove Blade Brow, another great brow pencil from the drugstore, $2.98. This spoolie, by the way, I feel like a good spoolie is underrated. I know it seems like a spoolie is a spoolie. No, that is not true. Occasionally you'll come across a spoolie that is just really good, and this is one that just like aggressively grabs my brows, every single hair, and just like puts them where I want them. It's so good. Okay, working our way down, I've got this little drawer right here, which is my small or smaller eyeshadow palette. So let's have a look at these. This right here is from Revolution. This is the Mini Color Reloaded palette in I See You Orange. Honestly, I probably won't use this one a ton. When I want these kind of tones, I'll probably go for my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, but if you're looking for something colorful and summery and fun and cheap, I do like these. I think they're pretty good quality and super affordable. Honestly, if we're just talking about quality, I think these are better. These are the Essence mini eyeshadow palettes, have the Nothing Compares to Nude and the Bronze This Way. Still some of the best palettes at the drugstore. This right here is from the brand Pink Flash. I wish I could still find these on Yes Style. I think they've been discontinued or replaced. This is such a good eyeshadow palette, you guys. Perfect color story, such great quality. And I think when I picked this up, I got it for under $5. I'm so sad they don't make these anymore. I'm gonna have to find some other good eyeshadow trios. I love a good trio. Like if you get the right color combo, I don't know, I feel like a trio just can't be beat. This is the Pretty Smart 103 eyeshadow quad. So good. Another one from the drugstore that I highly recommend. Super high-end quality from these. 3 Natasha Denonas in here. I've got my Mini Sculpt palette, which is great. I have my Mini Biba palette, which I love, but it's pretty warm. Just be warned. I actually like the very warm kind of orangey tones, and I love that this one gives you a cream to powder formula, which is rare with these 5-pan palettes from her. And then this one, which is also warm, but not quite as like orangey warm. This is the Mini Nude palette. Perfect bronze summer eyeshadow palette that's great for travel. And then I've got my Natasha Denona Gilded Mini. If you like the idea of the mini Sculpt from Natasha Denona. I don't think these are dupes for each other. The Mini Sculpt is more neutral. This one leans a little bit more warm, but they're not too far away from each other. Quality-wise, I think they're pretty similar. Okay, and then this drawer is where things start to get really ridiculous. This is my bronzer and highlighter drawer that is way overfilled. Let's go through the bronzers first. First off, I've got my Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer. I use the shade Fair. This is so good. Honestly, I love this. It's so good. This right here I've been talking about a lot since I got it just a month ago, the Laura Mercier bronzer. I was like, this thing looks like I've had it for years. I've had it for a month and I've used it almost every day. It's so good. I'm kind of annoyed that I like it so much. It's in the shade 20 Marseille. Really good quality. Got my Physicians Formula here that I am determined to use up before the end of the summer. You can see this looks really nasty. This is in the shade Bronze Gem. Great one if you have fair skin, you want something warm but not too orange. It's warm. It definitely is warm, but it's, I don't know, more of like a yellowy, but in a good way warm. I can't explain it. It's kind of a unique bronzer shade actually. This is from Persona. This is Mojave. Another fantastic shade that I recommend if you like a cream bronzer and you're looking for something that is not gonna turn orange. This is the perfect shade. It's warm, but I would say it's, I don't know that I'd call it a rosy warm because it's too light to be considered rosy, but it's not ashy. I don't know. It's just such an interesting, like perfect color if you're kind of wanting something in between sculpting and warming. I don't know, it's great. And then I have a ton of highlighters. I don't know why I selected so many highlighters. I think I started with a few and then I kept adding more. Summertime is like the time to highlight, and I have so many favorites that it just got out of hand quickly. My Revlon Skin Lights in Daybreak Glimmer. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. Melt Cosmetics. This is the Stargazer highlighter in Digital Dust. Actually, I always get that backwards. I think it's the Digital Dust highlighter in the shade Stargazer. So beautiful. It's like a peachy champagne. Very light, kind of golden peach champagne. This one is also great from the drugstore. This brand is so good. I can't recommend it enough. This is the Pretty Smart highlighter. This one is in the shade 57 Golden Bloom. Don't be misled by the name of this one. It is a little bit warm, but I'd say it's more of like a champagne peach than a true gold. So if you're opposed to highlighters that are too golden or that are like yellowy, this isn't a yellowy golden highlighter. I have my Persona highlighter that they don't make anymore in Zuma. Honestly, this is so good. I keep saying I should declutter this because it's been discontinued for so long, but it's such a good one. I have my Skin Glazing from Nabla in Amnesia. This one's pretty gold. It's on the verge of being too dark for me. When I'm at my tannest, this one is a gorgeous soft gold, like skin toned gold color. And then this right here is the NYX Butter Highlighter in Bright and Butter. They have some interesting looking shades. I'm curious to pick up another shade of these that's maybe more of like a pink tone, but this one's gorgeous. Great one if you, it's very intense. I'd say this is probably the most like over the top intense highlighter of the ones that I've showed you. Before I get to this last drawer, which is all blushes, let's just go through a couple of things just sitting on my desk because I'm still kind of testing these out. I've got all of my Milk Makeup Balmades. I love all of these. I always have one. I've been like rotating every couple days. I'll grab a different one and throw it in my purse, but they're all delicious. They're pretty much clear. I think I've said that a few times. You're not gonna get a lot of color out of these, but they have great shine. They're very comfortable and they smell and taste amazing. Then I've got 3 of my NYX Buttermelt blushes that I'm still testing out. This is Shimmering Coral, which is really fun. It is a little bit on the shimmery side. This one I am loving. This is Shimmering Terracotta. Actually, no, Feeling Butter is the name of it. And this one is You Know Butter. Feeling Butter, this kind of brown toned one, is a Shimmering Terracotta shade. It looks so dark in the pan. I do have to use a very light hand with this one, but it's a beautiful bronzer topper if you're going for that kind of like reddish, almost sunburn kind of look. This one right here is the shade Butter with Time. It is a Vivid Watermelon. Very bright. I have to be very light-handed with this one, but if you like a pop of pink on the cheeks, this is a really fun shade. I love the formulas of these. They're easy to apply with a light hand or to build up. Very blendable, very nice. And then this is my Sephora Blush, which I also really like. I love the cream blush in this one, and the powders are good. Okay, now let's get into my drawer unit here. First off, I've got my Butter Glow and Go. This technically I use more for the bronzer than for the blush. Honestly, I hesitate to recommend this because I don't like the blush nearly as much as I like the bronzer up here, which I love. And this one is Beachy Pink. I've got two Persona Cream Dream Stick blushes here in their newer packaging. This is Teddy, this one is Kiss. So I originally had both of these. I actually still have Teddy in my drawer. I need to declutter the old packaging and put this one in. And I decluttered Kiss. And then they sent me Kiss again. And now I think I'm crazy that I ever decluttered it because it's so good. These are such great formulas. They're very pigmented. You don't need very much, but they blend like a dream. You can build them up. You can blend them out if you put on too much. So just very easy to use for a cream product. This is the Pat McGrath. This is the, what was this called? This is the Divine Blush Bronze and Glow Trio. I picked this up at a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's. I really like the bronzer. I sort of like this blush. I actually have another palette that has blushes from her that I like better than this shade right here. And I don't really like the highlighter. It's okay. It's very pink toned. It's almost iridescent. I'm not a fan of highlighters that pull kind of iridescent or like duochrome on me. That one's kind of borderline. This is the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. This one's in Cool Coral. I love these. Value-wise, these are a great value. I almost just feel like it's like a 7 grams of blush. I will never use that much blush, but if you're go through your blushes very fast, you like a good value, those are fantastic. This is Max Warm Soul, great one for summertime. This blush duo from Relove by Revolution, this one is in the shade Cute. Really nice, basic kind of warm pink, almost terracotta shade. This right here is Soft Nude from Nabla. You guys know I love these. Got my Flower Beauty Gel Crush right here in Citrus Crush. This is a nice like bright corally orange. My House Labs right here. You guys know I'm a big fan of the House Labs powder blushes. This one is in the shade French Rosette, which I love. It's just a very warm kind of orangey or corally pink. And then this is from ColourPop. This is their Lip and Cheek Balm and It's a Look. Really nice kind of, again, like a warm bright pink. Very pretty. Nice cream formula. I really have been impressed with the two of these that I've tried out. And other than that, that's it. I did want to also show you guys over here behind me. I have another unit that holds all my brushes, and in that unit I always have my Milk Lip and Cheek. So if you ever don't see these in here, these sit on my desk at all times along with my Fenty glosses. So these are basically always in my Shop My Stash. They are among my most reached for, very favorite blushes. I love them and I use them all the time, even if I don't talk about them all the time. And then one more thing I just wanted to mention right here. These are all of my most used lip liners. I have other lip liners that they're not long wearing. I don't like them quite as much. These are all my like old reliable long wearing ones. So we've got all my About Face in here, my LA Colors in here, some Natasha Denonas in here. I do have some MAC ones in here as well. I think I have a Juvia's Place and a couple of Buxom ones in here too. Some Maybellines, a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury. These are just like my go-tos. Pretty much any lip liner you've seen me pull for in a video in the last 2 or 3 years, probably sitting in this little unit right here. All right, you guys, and that is it. Those are all of my picks for my summertime stash. Anything in here you guys really want to see me use in an upcoming video, let me know down below. I hope you guys are having a good start to your summer, staying cool for those of you that are going through a heat wave right now. But that is going to do it for now. Thank you guys again. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Enjoy the straight hair for like 2 more days because it's getting washed. It actually needs to be washed right now. I just had it colored. Well, I actually colored it myself. Long story. I'm not gonna bore you with that, but I'm already starting to get roots. It's only been like 5 days. Man, that gray hair is a beast.